going to do a chat about Chippendale Furniture. So Chippendale Furniture is widely misunderstood by many people, and at the other end of the spectrum it's very well studied and understood by other people. And if you're going to collect furniture, English furniture, I'm going to suggest that Chippendale Furniture is one of the easiest types of furniture to collect because there's so much documentation about it. There's so many people who are scholars. There's a society about Chippendale Furniture. There are specialist sales, auctions, dealers noted for selling Chippendale Furniture. So if you're going to collect English furniture, I'm going to suggest Chippendale Furniture is a very easy thing to collect. Bearing in mind, there is Chippendale and there is Chippendale style. We'll go into that in a minute. So Chippendale was one of the English furnishers who made furniture and designed furniture, and he drew his designs from pre-existing designs, be it French or English, and he drew his designs from classical designs, be it Greek, Roman, Egyptian, and he mixed it all up to cater for the market in England and France and America. But you've got to understand with Chippendale, he didn't make all the stuff himself. In fact, he made not a lot of the stuff that is being sold as Chippendale Furniture. So he is famous for having made a directory, a director of furniture, a guidebook, and you have to consider it, this is rather crass, but you have to consider it like an IKEA catalogue. People go to IKEA, they look up what they want, they order the furniture, they pick the colour, they pick the shapes and sizes, and they pick when they want it. The wife is shown, the office workers are shown, whatever, the husband is shown, and later on you get your stuff and you pay for it. And really it's a similar sort of thing. It's not low market like IKEA, but that is how it worked. There was not, though there were showrooms and people selling Chippendale furniture, the use in the 18th century all the way through to the Victorian century, the use of directors, catalogues was huge. You could have a house in the countryside in England and you'd have your directories, and it would show drawings of fences, guns, cartridges, spades, fire grates, fire tools, kitchen equipment, bricks, timber, and you could order the stuff in. So mail order is not a new thing. Mail order was huge in England in the, as I say, 18th century to the Victorian era, and there are these directories. The Chippendale one is called a director, but it is a book of drawings. So what Chippendale did in London, he latched onto the fashionable market, and the fashionable market was people with money who wanted the latest designs. The latest designs were, as I say, drawn from, some of them were drawn from pre-existing designs in France and England, and they were drawn from Egypt, the Near East, classical Greece and Rome. They were drawn from the Far East, they were drawn from the Chinese, and you'll see Chinese Chippendale. So if you consider one man Chippendale, he couldn't have made all the stuff himself. And did he have workshops? He did have workshops, but they weren't necessarily operated by him and run by him or owned by him. They were syndicated. So for example, there are detailed records of Chippendale furnishings in about 20 or 30 houses in England. These show what he ordered, what was ordered from him, how much they cost, where they went. And they went into rooms which were schemes. So Chippendale would consult with, for example, Robert Adam, and they would make an arrangement. They would make a fireplace, a ceiling, a chandelier, windows, and the furniture as a scheme, as a conception when the house was being built. And of course it was hugely expensive and took years and years and years to furnish these houses. And there would be local carpenters who would be working on site who would follow the Chippendale designs, and they would be supervised to a degree by Chippendale or his people. And we had a Chippendale desk 5 years ago, a bureau, and we knew it was Chippendale because it had two things which were Chippendale designs. The first thing was you have the pull-out rests of the fall. The cock beading on the top drawer was missing on the side of the drawer itself, but it was present on the pull-out resting slide. So the drawer appeared to have one piece of cock beading all around it, but as I said, the cock beading was on the pull-out, not on the drawer. You don't want cock beading twice. The other thing it had was inside there was a sort of secretaire effect with small drawers, and the drawers were hanging, so they were not supported underneath by a piece of wood. The drawers were supported by runners on the sides. So we knew from those two features that they were characteristic of Chippendale and recorded as Chippendale. So we were able to sell the desk as a Chippendale design desk. We couldn't say it was a Chippendale desk because we weren't sure Chippendale made it. There were other things. The back of the bureau had panels. Instead of just planks, there were two neatly made panels, which is good quality construction, and the wood itself being pine on the back. It was a Georgian bureau in mahogany. It was painted in red, and that's characteristic as well. And there's other things. There were pinholes around the middle of the border of these panels, and reputedly the Chippendale furniture would be wrapped in cloth, hessian or sacking, and the cloth would be nailed onto the back. So there's all these little signs the dealers look for, and they're all very academic. And what people want are the Chippendale things made by Chippendale, supervised by Chippendale, to his designs. They want the stuff where they know which house it came from. There is the stuff made by followers of Chippendale to his designs, which may have been made by Chippendale under supervision, Chippendale's own people under supervision, or local carpenters just using the guidebook with or without supervision. And then there's all the stuff which is just copies of Chippendale's designs, which could be 18th century or could be 1920s, 1950s, and they're still making Chippendale stuff now. There's a company called Theodore Alexander which makes really good reproduction mahogany. If you look it up, you'll see it's brand new Chippendale stuff, some of it. And in America, unfortunately, the understanding of Chippendale is limited. People buy Chippendale chairs thinking it's made by Chippendale, but they don't realise it's just a copy of a Chippendale design. Only a tiny fraction of Chippendale stuff in America is really Chippendale. And that applies in England as well, to be fair. So, I hope I haven't confused you. You've got Chippendale, the furniture maker, the furniture designer. He borrowed designs, he used designs, he improved designs. He used intricate Chinese designs. He used reeding and beautifully crisply carved ribbons. He used painted furniture sometimes, gilded furniture, parcel gilt furniture. He used upholstery sometimes. He was commercially successful. The stuff he made, people liked and bought. So this book is widely available. It's not over money. It just gives you an idea of what Chippendale is. It's worth a look. Let me show you a Chippendale chair, Chinese Chippendale chair, to give you a pointer. What else is good in here? There's too much to go through. Some classical semi-Baroque stuff, where he's using old designs, really, older designs. Some of the designs were contemporary-ish at the time, but they were really sort of composite designs made of, as I say, a variety of different influences. Beautiful stuff. Okay, hope that hasn't been confusing. Thanks for having a look.